Hello everybody, I'm Tilly Douglas from Visual Sense Crafts, and today I want to show you how to make these beautiful little puff flowers. Absolutely stunning, and you can use all your scrap yarn to make them with because they don't take much yarn at all to make them, and you can either sew them all together into a bigger project, or you can just make them individually and use them as embellishments on things like hats and bags and things like that, or whatever you want to do. So I'm going to crack straight on and show you how to make these today. So to start off, we're going to do a simple slip knot, and then I'm using a size 4 crochet hook here, but you obviously use whatever size you want to use, and we're going to chain 4. 1, 2, 3, 4, and then we're going to do a slip stitch into that very first stitch that we made, that first chain that we made, and we're going to pull it through so we have our slip stitch, and then we're going to work our yarn into the center of that hole. So you could just poke your crochet hook through so you can see I'm going to work into that hole, and I'm going to hold the yarn here, so we're going to work over this tail end so we don't have to sew it in later. Just saves a bit of time later on. And we're going to chain 1, and then we're going to do 11 single crochets, US terms. In UK terms that's double crochets. I'm going to do 11 single crochets into this hole. So through the hole, pick up the yarn and pull it through, and then yarn over. That's 1. We're going to do 11 of those. So if you want to carry on and do your 11, and I will join you when we've got there. So we've done our 11 crochet, and now we're going to slip stitch into that very first single crochet that we made at the beginning. So through that stitch, pull up the yarn and pull it through to form our slip stitch, and then we're going to just finish off by just pulling that yarn through again and snipping it off. Pull that through, and because we've crocheted over our tail, we can snip that off. Keeps it all nice and tidy. I'll just get that out of the way. And then for my flower, I'm going to use this gorgeous blue yarn. Oops, a tangle there. And we're going to go in that stitch near where we finished off. You can actually start anywhere, but I like to go into that one where that tail end finished last time. But you start wherever you want, push it, hook through, and then simply drag the yarn through, and I like to tie it. Just a simple little knot to hold it in place. And then we're going to hold on to these 2 tail ends and work over those the same as we did the first one, just to save us tying it in later. So we're going to go back into that hole where we tied it and just drag that yarn through to form a hoop on our hook, and then we're going to chain 3, and I'm going to go yarning over and back into that same hole. Pull up the yarn and pull that up nice and high, because this is what forms our puff part of the flower. So we're going to do that again in the same stitch, that same hole. Pull it up and pull it up nice and high, and then we're going to do 3 in the next stitch. So yarn over into the next stitch, pull it up and pull that up nice and high. Don't be afraid to give it a good pull, and then we're going to do that again and another one. So 3 into that one, and then we're going to yarn over, turn our hook so it's under, the hook is to the bottom, and then we're going to pull through all those loops in one go, and then we're going to chain 2, and that is our first petal. So we're going to hold on to these yarns still, these tail ends, and we're going to go into the next stitch and do a slip stitch just to anchor that petal down, and then we're going to chain 3, same as we did the last one, and work our next petal. So yarn over into the same stitch, yarn over and pull that up nice and high. We're going to do that again in there, so 2 in this first one, and then we're going to go into the next stitch and do that 3 times. So 1, 2 and 3, and then we're going to yarn over and pull through all those stitches and chain 2, and then we can snip off the end just to keep it nice and tidy. We're going to do that again. So there's our first 2 petals, so we're going to slip stitch into that next stitch, chain 3, yarn over into the same stitch, yarn over, pull it up nice and high, do that again, and then we're going to go into the next stitch and do that 3 times into that stitch. 1, 2, 3, and then yarn over and pull through all those loops on the hook and chain 2, and then we're going to slip stitch into the next stitch and chain 3, and then we're going to work on our next petal. So yarn over, go through, pull up that loop nice and high, and another one in the same stitch nice and high, and then we're going to do 3 in the next stitch. 1, 2 and 3, and then yarn over and pull through all those loops on the hook and chain 2, then slip stitch into the next stitch and chain 3, yarn over into the same stitch and pull that up high, 2 in there and 3 in the next stitch. 1, 2, 3, yarn over and pull through them all and chain 2, and then slip stitch into the next stitch, chain 3, yarn over and pull that loop up, 2 in that one, and then 3 into that last stitch. 1, 2, 3, then yarn over and pull through all those loops, chain 2, and then slip stitch into the base of that first petal. Just simply slip stitch to anchor that petal, slip stitch again, snip it off, and there's our little flower, and that is actually the back that we've been working on. Turn it over, and there's the beautiful front with the little puff petals. So we're just going to finish that off by sewing in that end. Just very simply, just poking it through and then back again. Then we can snip that off. Now, I like to sew these together. They're actually very easy to sew together, but you actually sew them on the back. So this is the front, and I turn it over, and I have all these ends because as I sew them in, I don't snip the ends off and tie it all in. I just do it until I've got the next one, and then thread my yarn onto my needle again and join onto the next part. So you thread that onto there. It's a lot easier to do this on a flat surface. So you have this on a flat surface, so you can just put it on there. You can see how the little petals just fit in together, just nice and snugly. So just simply pick up a little bit of the thread on both sides and stitch it together. Very, very simple. And it actually makes it really secure. See, that one just fits nicely in there. Just pick up those edges. And then I will just leave it there, so when I'm ready to put my next one on, it will join in there. So I just unthread that, and then when I work back over this side, when I put the next one on here, I'll work the thread from the back here into the next one. So as you can see, very, very simple but very effective, and a fantastic way to use up all your scrap yarn. Just look at those beautiful colours. Love it. So there you have it. So that's it. It's as simple as that. Very easy to make, aren't they? So I'd be really interested to see what you make with your little puff flowers, and any ideas that you have that I maybe haven't thought of. I'd be interested to hear about. So leave them in the comments below, so hopefully you can give me some ideas too. So if you got benefit out of this tutorial, just click the little subscribe button and press the little bell notification. Then you'll get notified when I bring out new videos, because I'm going to be bringing out lots of lovely tutorials that will hopefully help you with your crochet projects. So I'll see you in the next video. Bye for now.